The Northtown News Magazine is brought to you in part by eVoter. eVoter is proud to be a sponsor of the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, Marty. I'm the real Marty Levinson. Keep on cutting.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that living life city, sweet home Chicago. 224 446. Come on, baby, I'll get your business fixed. Come on.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine show with the best cameraman around, Sonny Hirsch, and your host, Avi Myers.
Thank you, Marty. Avi Myers here, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web at www.ntnm.org, where 95,000 shows have been watched. Thank you so much. The number is climbing by leaps and bounds all over the place. Community policing, we're big on that, caps24.org. Sonny Hirsch, in his spare time, is chairman of the District Advisory Committee of the 24th District and built the site. It'll give you all the information needed for community policing meetings, among other things, in the 24th District, which is Rogers Park and West Rogers Park. For the rest of the city, call 311. It is political season, and thank God this year we have more requests for people to come on the show than we ever have before. And as you know, we like to focus quite a bit on judicial candidates, and you will be seeing quite a few of them in the coming weeks, and virtually nothing but politics, actually nothing but politics, from here till election time. It is a pleasure to have a sitting judge who is running for, well, as a matter of fact, I'll let him tell you what he's running for. Judge James Epstein. How are you?
Fine, Avi. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
First of all, thank you so much for being here, and you come very highly recommended from a number of good sources.
That's nice to hear. I appreciate that. I've been a judge for 10 years. The first 7 I spent in the criminal division doing felony criminal cases in the Skokie Courthouse. There were Chicago cases sent to the Skokie Courthouse. For the last 3.5 years, I've been sitting in the Chancery Division at the Daly Center doing the complex civil litigation that comes to those courtrooms. I'm a graduate of Northwestern University, undergraduate in Northwestern University Law School. I taught for 15 years at Northwestern Law School as I was practicing law, and I'm the immediate past president of the Illinois Judges Association, which is the voice for 1,100 present and retired judges in the state of Illinois.
Very impressive.
Thank you.
And so it was being a judge something you've always wanted to do? I mean, when you started out as a lawyer, was this something you had in mind that one day you were going to be a judge? Or?
Well, my grandfather, Sam Epstein, my son is named after him, one of my sons. He got off the boat from Lithuania in 1902 as a 12-year-old who didn't speak any English at all. His father, my great-grandfather, was brought over by people from their small town to be their rabbi on the west side.
Oh, wow.
And my grandfather got off the boat at age 12 on 4th of July, not speaking a word of English and thinking that the great celebration was to welcome their ship, and he thought, what a wonderful country. And it was a wonderful country for him. 13 years later, he was a graduate of the University of Chicago Law School.
Wow.
And he became a judge and served with distinction as a judge for many, many years. So I grew up around the dinner table. My grandmother, believe it or not, was a judge. She was one of 2 women in the Northwestern Law School class of 1922. And my father was a lawyer. And I was very happy being a trial lawyer and teaching trial advocacy at Northwestern Law School. My wife was a judge in the criminal division, and tragically she had an accident and died. And my 2 children were 10 and 13 at the time, and I decided that I needed to leave the practice of law and the hours that were required for that and do a job that could be done very well in fewer hours, which is what the judgeship is. I work about, the 40 plus hours, but it was much less than the hours that I worked as a trial lawyer because you were always on trial. As a matter of fact, the new movie that's come out recently, The Informant with Matt Damon, I'm a character in that movie. I represented the gentleman who Matt Damon portrays, and so that's been quite an experience to look up at a movie screen and see somebody who's supposed to be you, who you've never met. So,
wow, that's a wow.
Yeah, it's a wow.
I got to check that out. Anyway, so yeah, it sounds to me like you were made to be a judge, basically.
Well, I've enjoyed being a judge. It's an important job. I take it very seriously, and the best part about being a judge, Avi, is that when you go to work in the morning, all you have to do is try to do the absolute best to do what's fair and just to the people in front of you. Sometimes people say to me, is the case you're on trial on a big case? And my answer is always the same. To the people involved, it's the most important case in the history of the United States. And you have to remember that, because people come into the courtroom and most of the times they've never been there before and they're frightened, and something very important is going on for their future. And you as a lawyer or you as a judge may have dozens of cases up in a day, but for them, this is the one time in their life when they want the judging to be as perfect as possible. And every time a case comes up, I tell myself, a friend of mine who was a judge before I became a judge, I called her, I said, I know what the law is. I know where to find the law. Tell me what I need to know about being a judge. And she said, every day before I go on the bench, I make a prayer and I say, help me be the kind of judge that I like to appear before as a lawyer.
Oh,
and I've never forgotten that, because I know exactly the type of judge I liked to appear before when I was a lawyer. Someone who was patient and would listen and would do his or her best to be fair to all the sides.
That's fantastic. That's very impressive stories. Very impressive person. You're running for appeals court now.
Yes, and I've been found highly qualified by the Illinois State Bar Association, and I know that a lot of voters go into the voting booth and they see a list of names that they don't recognize, and many times they feel at a loss. People who are interested can download the judicial evaluations of the various bar associations on the web. You can look at the Illinois State Bar Association's website, the Alliance of Bar Associations. We're rated by 12 different bar associations. Unfortunately, some of the people who are running for judge, including some of the people running in my race, decide not to submit their credentials because for their own reasons. Maybe they don't think that they're going to be highly rated. But I think it's the obligation of all the candidates to submit their credentials so that the people who are voters who take the time to look at the bar ratings can get a sense of what the lawyers who see all the judges think about their quality.
And by the way, also there'll be full judicial evaluations, and I do have a panel of judges and lawyers who do the rating for me in Jewish Chicago, which will be available free January 7th. And highly qualified does not surprise me. I hear nothing but the highest praise for you. And they also do tell me, as you said, that if somebody doesn't appear before the Bar Association, cross them off your list. Absolutely. And I'm saying that I'm not trying to get the judge in any trouble. Do you have a website or for the campaign, or where people could contact you if they'd like to speak to you? Or
Certainly. The best way to reach me is through my website, which is www.judgeepstein.com.
www.judgeepstein.com. We want to thank you very much for being here. Very impressed. And we want to wish you a lot of luck in the election. And
Thank you, Avi.
Yeah, thank you.